I am Hassan Kurma. Our inspirational quote for today is from Jane Addams, and it says, "Unless our conception of patriotism is progressive, it cannot hope to embody the real affection and the real interest of the nation." Top stories in today's edition are Sierra Leone joins other countries in the World Environmental Day on June 5th every year, a non-governmental organization that advances its advocacy on managing the environment, keeping hope on afforestation drive in complementing this year's biodiversity at Petefu Kangolo Village, Koya Chiefdom. Also coming up in the Good Morning Show today, as a way to boost in the fight against COVID-19, Office Lady is a non-for-profit organization has donated food and non-food items worth millions of leones to the Joint Medical Unit at Atifa Military Hospital in Freetown. Also in the program today, Rich Peace Salon has donated face masks to market women during markets, which is aimed at preventing the spread of COVID-19 in the country as a whole. Joining me in the studios this morning is Ansumana Keta, the Executive Director of Patriotic Advocacy Network. He'll be talking to me more on the advances in preaching the need for patriotism in Sierra Leone. Good morning, Ansumana.
Good morning, Hassan. Good morning, Sierra Leonean. Thanks, Star, for hosting me.
It's a pleasure, Ansumana. Of course, this is Star Good Morning Show. You can comment live on our below on our Star TV Facebook page, that's Star TV Live, or send a text to the number 077 844 636. I repeat, 077 844 636. Comment live on our Facebook page, that's Star TV Live. The Star Good Morning Show is proudly sponsored by Local Commercial Bank.
Did you say you want to talk to me?
Yes, my brother. I get stress, bank stress. I need money right. So go put money in my bank, no problem. So go put money in my bank, no problem. I go to map in a line all day just for put money and pull money. And the loan system, look me business, they go down the drain. We not get loan system. Me, I just tired.
Now that's the stress you?
Yes, my brother. Now me stress standing.
Let that not be your stress. Because me your bank was the bank when I Local Commercial Bank. When I the award-winning bank for 2018, where they don't win so many awards inside Freetown and even self outside Salon. Yes, they even recognize them at the international world as they win one of the most prestigious awards from Nigeria as the best corporate bank na Salon. They don't even count financial inclusion, where it means they want to involve everybody in a Salon. Never mind the kind of business way they do. If na pepper self they sell in the market or any other petty business they do, then even self they don't left their comfort zone for going to bonds. When at the island, where you don't say where people that avoid for the banking business, they don't go there for let the people themselves they part of the financial inclusion within the park. And self they get plenty other products where you will meet you day-to-day needs. Then gets like the keke account. When for them boys and when they ride the keke them. And self then gets the Osusu account. Then get MasterCard, other platform that they will take money like SimCorp. When a new banking system where they don't count the business now inside your phone they go out. You know, you don't need for go you need to snap that long queue. As then at the award-winning bank, they want to maintain that standard and they want to satisfy the customers. Let them make sure say everybody can inside the bank system. Then nobody not left out. Now for can't open account to them, it's simple. You 50,000, 100,000, you're okay.
Thank you, my brother. I need for one go now Local Commercial Bank right now. I beg no drink so down there, but this is good news.
Well, many thanks to RC Bank, the sole sponsor of the Star Good Morning Show here on Star Television Network on Channel 21. And of course, you can send a text to the number 077 844 636. We still have in the studio Ansumana Keta is the Executive Director of Patriotic Advocacy Network, as we shall be discussing more on the advances in preaching for the need for patriotism in Sierra. But before I come over to Ansumana, let's go for our first item this morning. Sierra Leone joins other countries in commemorating the World Environmental Day on June 5th every year. An non-governmental organization that advances its advocacy on managing the environment, keeping hopes alive, has embarked on a forestation drive in complementing this year's biodiversity at Petefu Kangolo Village, Koya Chiefdom. Moses Ojukama was there and he now reports.
Speaking at the official launching ceremony of the National Tree Planting The founder and chief executive officer of Keeping Hope Alive, Nene Tunis, highlighted that man's involvement in the rapid pace of urbanization and cultivation has endangered the human race, making reference to a kid that had been bitten by a snake few days back. She added that with this afforestation project, our organization will mainly focus in encouraging children to own the process. Madam Tunis said if they want to encourage biodiversity, they should get children involved in the process by educating them on how they can coexist with nature and showcase the passion they have for environment.
One, that in school grounds this. As you can see, the building also in the school. So the beginner they can fence the school with live trees. Yeah, that are number one. And from that perspective, they will encourage them. Then at the grassroots, now then get for come up and protect the environment better than even we. You know, they'll come up with new ideas, be more creative. So we need to teach them. And at the same time, they see what they do and then go copy with best practices. So it better when they're small, you teach them now. When they're going to us, then we'll teach them mama and papa, then we'll teach them cousin and the whole community. So now from now when they're small, like they begin to encourage them into sustainable practices, then let them get this thing out of their head. This thing where they don't they use for, they send them just to go cut any kind tick for firewood and charcoal. Then I don't see with me the picking and they do them randomly now, they're not even think. So project like this, we talk to them a lot, we encourage them. Which better place than their own backyard? You understand? It's difficult now for just go find a far away forest because the human in intervention, they all side. Any side you go inside the far bush, you go meet Osli. So humans are everywhere. But at the same time, we then strive for seclude this area with the help of the government. By the time when we don't know for plants, I don't begin to talk to them, I don't get some encouragement. And not say they will come together with me in collaboration with the community, because without the community, we're not able to do it. We need a full support so then we'll left this place alone for make it thrive, for being one of the forest and a salon, and for their own betterment and the betterment of the nation as a whole.
Delivering the keynote address, the district forestry officer in the Ministry of Agriculture and Forestry, Patrick Abumatia, reaffirmed to residents of the community on President Bio's efforts in achieving the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals 13, 14, and 15, and urged all to engage in planting trees to increase tree covers.
Yes, Keeping Hope Alive, just the complementary efforts as a government. The Ministry of Agriculture and Forestry, Forestry Division, charged with the responsibility of forest conservation and management, establishment of forest. That's now real key responsibility as a division at the ministry. And if Keeping Hope Alive, they come to a community and plant trees for make sure so they increase of forest cover and several other reasons about the importance of forest. I feel say as a ministry, they get glad with them, we glad for them, because it's like we message they go that people they come in for plant and they know the importance of the trees and the importance of forest to them. So if NGO like Keeping Hope Alive today is here to plant trees with community, I think it's a laudable one for the ministry.
Honorable Almami Kanu told residents that it was a dream come true for his family to witness the official launching ceremony of the tree planting activity, as his late father was a key custodian of the central idea.
I dey pray and ask una say, do ya, as we don't continue for the give support to this project, make we continue for the give support to this project. Make we continue for the give and the peace and security where they need. We not go disturb them anything for make we go before for this tree planting. This day today are the history of the country and the history of the world. Faithful kangaroo, then go measure we.
It could be recalled that the World Environment Day was launched in 1972 it has grown to become the United Nations' biggest annual event, which involves exercises like beach cleaning ups, mass tree planting, marches, advocating for healthier environment of the need to increase protection for the planet, long-term survival of almost 35 years since Sierra Leone joins over 100 countries in raising awareness on the importance of trees and animals to the environment. The event climaxed with a symbolic tree planting exercise ranging from community stakeholders to younger ones, to officially start the process of afforestation and to indirectly care for humanity. Reporting for Star News, I am Moses Ojukamara.
Many thanks to Moses Ojukamara for that lengthy but as well comprehensive report. You're still watching the Star Good Morning Show here on Star Television Network on Channel 21. I am Hassan Kuroma. Still having the studios and Sumana Keta, the Executive Director of PAN Sierra Leone. And as well, I've been joined in the studios by James Fortune. He's from the Under 30 CEOs Africa, leading entrepreneurship hub across the region. Welcome to the program, James.
Thank you.
And of course, let me start with you, Ansumana. Ansumana, you're from PAN Sierra Leone. Let's start with the foundation of our discussion. So let's have some brief background of PAN Sierra Leone.
Well, good morning. Once more, good morning, Sierra Leoneans. The PAN and the Patriotic Advocacy Network is a registered and non-profit making organization that prides itself in instilling the spirit of patriotism, oneness, love in the minds of each and every Sierra Leoneans. We promote education, we promote culture, and we advocate for the needy and less privileged. The organization was officially launched on the 13th of April 2013. And since its inception, we've been staging programs and activities that are geared towards commanding growth and development. In 2013, we started establishing chapters in various schools, and we've established over 30 school chapters in Freetown. We've reached Bo, Makeni, Kamakwe, Kono, so on and so forth. And we've introduced the National Storytelling Festival in 2016. And in 2017, we organized the Educate a Child to Save a Nation. That's a means and ways wherein we can support the needy and less privileged children. And in 2018, we started solid partnership with the West African Youth Network, wherein we started our educational project on the theme combating injustice, marginalization, and corruption within the educational sector. Also, during the electioneering process in 2018, we were the only organization that staged the Patriotic Peace March. And in 2020, of course, we partner with Female in Sierra Leone in staging the Climate Change Awareness Campaign. And currently in 2014, we are amongst the first organization that staged the Left We Country Ebola campaign. And in March 2020, we also started the Corona Awareness Campaign. And currently we are working on a new initiative titled The Patriots.
A very long journey, I must say.
Yeah,
Before
very
talk
long
about patriotism and of course your activities, it has been like 7 years down the line
7
since
years,
the establishment.
Yeah. 7 years.
How has it been so far preaching patriotism, especially in a third world country like Sierra Leone?
It's been amazing, and I must confess, Sierra Leone is the greatest and the best country in the whole world, that I must say. Patriotism, if you check the history of Sierra Leone, especially since our independence in the 1960-1961, most of you will agree with me that the issue of patriotism was never planted in our roots. So that is making it very challenging for us as an organization, especially young people, for us to see how we can build in the culture of patriotism. What is patriotism? It's having genuine love for your country, and you must be there to support your country everywhere and every time. And this is solidly supported in our national pledge. The national pledge comprises of 6 lines, for which therein you are taking vow, oaths, loyalty, wishing your country prosperity. You understand? Then in the last line, you are now invoking the Almighty God to seal your covenant that you are taking with your country. And this is also being supported with in our constitution. That is section 13 paragraph B, which says every citizen shall cultivate the spirit of nationalism and patriotism, so that loyalty to the state shall override all other sectional, ethnic, tribal loyalties.
Okay.
This is also talking about we must not be tribalistic, we must not have loyalties to our political parties, our loyalty must be in our country. So far so good. Within the past 7 years, it's been very challenging because now we are now inculcating this spirit in the minds of each and every Sierra Leonean.
Let's all talk about what has been our assessment so far with Sierra Leoneans in relation to patriotism. Let me come over to James Fortin. James, you are from the under 30 CEOs, and we all know you have your head proposal, but before we come to talk about that as well, for many young people across Sierra Leone, entrepreneurship has been a major breakthrough for them. For us back home in Sierra Leone, we have this niche in us that the only way to succeed in life is to have a white-collar job. How have under 30 CEOs tried to change that narrative, especially back home in Sierra Leone?
Okay, thank you. For the past 2 years, we've been engaged working with young people, especially those with business ideas and skills to do something on their own. That is why the organization in itself is named Under 30 CEOs. We look out for young people out there that are creative on their own, people that can do things and achieve things by themselves. Because one thing that we've realized is that Sierra Leone, we have a lot of untapped potential. We have lots of ideas, we have great minds, great skills, but then it is not all of them that are really fully realized. So Under 30 CEOs mainly cater for entrepreneurs out there, young people that are into business, young people that are into innovation, whatever that you're doing, something that is, whether it's for yourself, for your community, as long as it's something productive, we cater for such young people. What we do is we create for them the right platform. Because again, an idea in itself is not enough. You need the necessary things for it actually, for you to even have confidence in your idea in the first place. So Under 30 CEO is that hub where we cater for different kind of entrepreneurs, letting them know that your dream is possible, it is not unachievable. You can be able to achieve it. Bringing the right people on board as well. Over the years, what we've been doing, we've been organizing an entrepreneurship summit for young Under 30 CEOs, and we invite different companies and organizations to come in and inspire these young people. And these young people share their business ideas with them. For some that are lucky and their business ideas are so nice, then they are able to find partners and they work with them and they're able to go far and explore and do more things. But mainly that is what we work on. Our goal at the end of the day is to see a Sierra Leone where you have young people, not just, well, over the years people will tell you that, okay, I've come from university for the past 4 or 5 years, I'm unable to get a job. But then you've gotten a skill, you've learned something, you can be able to actually create something, start up something on your own. Now that is what is lacking in our society. Now many people think they have to start big. But at Under 30 CEOs, we help young people, we groom young entrepreneurs to understand that starting small is not bad at all.
James, let me hold it there. Before we talk about the goals, there are over millions of entrepreneurs in Sierra Leone. How I'm tempted to ask, how do you tap into these people? How do you spot them across the country?
Okay, thank you. We've been organizing different kinds of events in different kinds of places, and we create the platform to invite everybody on board. Because again, take note, it's not every entrepreneur, whether young or old, that would want to be part of a hub. What we do at Under 30 CEOs, we do not take your business ideas, because that is one thing we've realized. Many young people may decide to say, okay, I'd rather struggle alone than bring my idea to someone that will take it, or different big entrepreneurship hub that you target to actually link your ideas with. And if you are investing, let's say you're doing something in the social aspect or in youth development and all, that is as well a different category. So we try to coordinate these young people and linking them to these different facets where actually the best fits in. Because at times, again, as entrepreneurs, you may have an idea, you want to do something, but it gets to a point where you do not know the right people to meet. And by the time you meet, let's say for example, you meet Keita here and Keita tells you, no, I'm not working on that stuff. And he meets you and you tell him, no, I'm not working on that stuff. And he meets the next man, the person tells him the same thing. Then there is all tendency that you lose sight of that dream. You feel disappointed. But that is not because you do not want to help that person. It's because he or she is not actually meeting the right people. So that is what we do at Under 30 CEOs. We also work together with different entrepreneurs to build ideas together, coming now to what we are doing presently. Because we are entrepreneurs and mainly we do businesses and all of those, but then during the corona outbreak now, you know that everything is like on a standstill. So we came together and we tried to put our thoughts together to see what can we do to contribute towards nation's development at this particular time. The coronavirus is a disease where some still consider it a myth, others consider it that it's just a scam and all of those things. So we came together and we set up an advocacy team to actually go out in communities. Now what we do in these communities is we go down to these communities and coordinate members of these communities to own the process themselves. Because when a familiar face tells you something, you find it much more comforting than when someone that you've never seen or you don't know at all telling you, you think it's just a joke.
Letting them involved in the process.
Exactly, that is what we do. We've developed several skits, drama skits that communicate the everyday things that people do, how we use face masks, hand sanitizer, all of those things, the hand washing. But then they will be on the TV soon. And presently we are working with the EOC. We established a partnership. We extended a partnership proposal with the EOC because we have this idea to actually set up a science and innovation wing of the response for disease generally in Sierra Leone, made up of young people. We want young people to lead the process because what we've realized over the years is that we've been more of a reactive country or reactive people rather than being proactive. And we think it's high time we change that particular narrative.
James, we'll come to talk more about that. Let me just bring in Ansumana Keita. Let me take you 2 years down the line. Before our last election, national elections, we saw you had, how could I describe it, some peaceful march across the country in order to maintain unity before going to elections. And that prompts me to ask, what has been your key message in vibing patriotism into Sierra Leoneans?
Our messages are very, very much key. First, it starts with having loyalty towards your country, having love for your country, and we must be united. Unity is key towards national development. Any initiative that somebody is having, you must be united. So unity is very, very much key. So our key messages has been engulfing around patriotism, oneness, unity, and national cohesion, so that all of us, we can come together and build a one nation. We strongly believe that if we come together, says our motto, together we can achieve, we can transform Sierra Leone into an earthly paradise. You understand? And also, we've been empowering young people greatly. PAN is one of the organizations, you understand, that has been empowering young people in all walks of life, taking it from education, culture, exhibiting, creating a platform wherein they can exhibit their God's given talents. PAN has been creating that platform. In fact, the organization is serving as an incubating center, and wherein young people will have this smooth platform to tell their story, then also use their story wisely in order for them to transform this nation. The development of Sierra Leone, we strongly believe, it needs the effort from the government, from the APC, from the SLPP, from the NGC, from each and every Sierra Leonean, including our grandmothers, our grandfathers in the provinces. We all have a role to play.
Yes, sir, in achieving those three pillars you mentioned, patriotism, national cohesion, and unity, you must accept that the young people have greater role to play in all of these. How much have they been involved in your process?
The entire membership of PAN for now comprised of young people, starting from me as the executive director, and like I told you, we've
just like the under 30 CEOs?
Just like the under 30s, you understand?
Well, I am a member of PAN.
And amazingly, James Fortin is a member of PAN, you understand? And not only a member, but a key member of PAN, you understand? So, and starting from myself and the entire membership of PAN, most of us, we are below the age of 30, just like the under 30.
Okay.
Now, the issue of young people is very, very much pivotal and vital towards the development of any country. One of the problems that we have been having in Sierra Leone is that the dreams of young people, they have been shattered, just like what James Fortune mentioned, that
So what do you mean when you say that been shattered?
fine, when you meet an individual with an initiative, the individual will just kill down your dream. I can still remember in 2013 when we started PAN, and by then we were schooling at Albert Academy, when we met so many elderly people. You know the question that they asked us? They asked us, who do you think you are? You won't be able to transform this nation, to empower young people. In fact, you are not capable. So we have lots of dream killers. And young people must wise up, because we strongly believe that each and every young people, just like what James mentioned, has a key role to play. They have their own talent in them. That's their own talent. It is being said in the Bible that the kingdom of God, Jesus Christ said that the kingdom of God is within you. That within you is telling you that even God himself that created human being, he himself has given human being that special gift, that special talent that must be earmarked and work with. The only problem that we are having, there has not been much space being created for young people. To be candid with you, I realize that in the Patriotic Advocacy Network and even the under 30s activities for which I have been following keenly, we have young people who can tell stories. We have young female teenagers who can do perfect drumming. They can drum, you understand, and which they are all and so amazing. And we also have people who are well fortified with ideas, who can use their ideas solidly and see how we can transform this nation. You understand? The overseas country like America, England, so on and so forth, they have been built with the use of young people, the wise decision being used for young people.
In other words, are you insinuating that young people in Sierra Leone have not been involved in especially policy making?
Sure. Their dreams are being shattered. I keep repeating that, you understand? And if you check all sectors, including the educational sector, the business sector, so on and so forth, their dreams are being shattered. Most young people in Sierra Leone are suffering from actualizing their dream, you understand? And one of the key problems in Sierra Leone, we also don't value those local businesses like barbing, like the issue of plumbing, like the issue of even doing some fixing up some machines, you understand? These are all key towards national development, you understand? We must value those petty businesses, because just like James mentioned, you won't start very big. You have to start somewhere and see how best you can and elevate yourself with the support from the government and with the support from stakeholders and each and every person. But we have a problem with our stakeholders first believing in the young people, because first, for you to support somebody, you must believe in that person. You understand? So the issue of young people and having the trust and believed from stakeholders, it's a big problem. And mainly the narratives for young people, it has taken a very negative turn, meaning that young people are not serious. More young people are engaging in a lot of harmful violence activities, drug abuse, taking or smoking of marijuana, so on and so forth.
So how do we get all of those odds right in having a very fine society of young people?
First, we must value young people, and young people, they themselves must be able to understand their goal. You understand? Simply know thyself. You must know yourself. You must earmark your talents, and you must be serious. Above all, all of us, young people, elderly people, we must be patriotic and know that each and every sector, each and every individual has a role to play towards developing the country. And so the government must create a lot of space for young people. that's why thankfully we are now having organizations. Of course, the under 30 is here, PAN is here, all pushing the activities for young people. You understand? All of us, we have our role to play. And even the construction of these roads, and these projects are being given to foreign companies. You understand? As a nation, we must try our level best to empower our young people. And amazingly, let me tell you one amazing thing. Do you know that the engineering department of Rabe College, you understand, created something amazing yesterday? You understand?
Ventilator?
Yeah, a ventilator.
Yeah.
They created it. So this has shown the power of young people, if given the opportunity. And even at Commerce, the young people, the students, the young people there, they started creating a hand sanitizer. You understand? So this must send a clear message to the government that more space need to be created for young people in order for them to exhibit their God's-given talent. It is in them. It is within them. I'm working currently with young people who are mainly 18, 17, 19, 20 years, and I know the power of them. You understand? Including both male and female. They are doing amazing work. You understand? We have some pupils in PAN, school-going pupils in PAN. They can do entertainment just through drumming. It's so amazing.
All right, let me read that, Kate. I'll go back to you and talk more about your successes and challenges. Let me come to James Fortune. James, you've been an ambassador of under 30 CEOs, I must say. But where can a young person start from to be a very fine entrepreneur?
You just need to start anywhere at all. And you need to believe in what you have mainly, yeah?
Can I first believe in myself?
Of course, that's the beginning. Believe that your idea is not too small, neither is it too local. That is the first step. That is why I say you can actually start anywhere, but with the belief, then you can start with 10,000, 100,000, 1 million, 2, or whatever the case may be. But believe in that dream. Our idea actually is to see how best young people doing different kinds of businesses. Because the thing about this entire thing, it's the fact that you have so many people involved in so many activities, but the idea about growth is not there. It's just about doing it over and over and over again, and just in the same position. What we want to do as under 30 CEOs is to see how best young people that are into doing businesses, whether it's small or big, whatever the case may be, we see how best we encourage them to set a goal, have a target. From this point to this point, where do you want to see your business? Okay. Now, there are so many things that young people could do. Presently, we are working, our present project that we are working on, innovation and all. We have a young innovators that innovated a hand washing machine. That you have the automated, and you have the other that is not automated at all, that you can use manually, and that is locally made, and that we can send out to communities, that can be owned by communities. That's our present project we're working on. We want to work with the EOC, and as well we want to work with different partners all around the country, because what we've seen is very soon churches will reopen and other places too. But the issue about sanitation, just as I said earlier, it's not about being reactive all the time. Why not us be proactive as a nation? It's not only when there is an issue that we think about innovation. What we presently want to build with the EOC is something that goes beyond Corona. We want to have an innovation wing, something that is there. I know we have the SDI, but if we could have more young people to join in, partner with them, then we can be able to have something good. Trust me, I myself was amazed that young people could build such a thing, and it's all their own idea. Nothing foreign. They did not need to import anything. So just tell me now, with just a little support to such young people, they can do amazing things. Keta was just mentioning the engineering students and those from commerce. All of these ones, you see that young people have the ideas. What we do is try to create that platform for them to actually exhibit and contribute towards nation's development, and to a very large extent towards their own self-development as well. Because if more young people start becoming successful, that will give confidence to other young people out there that they too can do it. I mean, if that man can start from having a small shop where he does barbing and all of those things, but then he has grown big now, he's doing things, I too can do it. And before you know it, if every young person in Sierra Leone have that idea, then we will not need to struggle with violence. So you see that tackling one issue, by extension, actually solves a lot of problems. And that is the key thing. If we can encourage our young people to be entrepreneurs, you need not go to school till you achieve a PhD. Without a PhD, you can still be successful, you can still be a productive person in society. That is
there
what
are a lot
we're
of young
about.
people down there who have not darkened the doors of formal schools, but
Sure.
still have brilliant business ideas. I just space for those people.
Of course. That is the entire essence of having the under 30 CEOs. Yeah? You have lots of people around the world that will tell you their stories that, okay, I became wealthy far before I actually went to school. Not that we are encouraging young people not to go to school, but you have certain young people that are so moved in creating or in doing something, they have that great passion for it, that they cannot do anything else unless that particular thing. Now, they can be able, what we do at Under 30 CEOs is to tell them that you can actually do both. You can actually be able to be a very successful innovator while at least trying to achieve some amounts of education for yourself. That in itself is a very good thing. But we do not discriminate or segregate at all. We have lots of, interestingly, the amount of young people with creative ideas that could actually build things on their own, that have not darkened, let's say, the walls of college or wherever, they are so much, as opposed to those that are in universities and colleges. Recently, I went to one of these communities, I think it was Kanike, and I met with young people there, and they are presently building a jetty on their own. They are almost finishing it now, and that is so amazing. You ask them, where do you get this materials from? They tell you that we get it from scraps and all of those things by themselves. That is amazing.
So what do we need to push such people in achieving their dreams?
What we need is to create the right platform for those that are in a position to actually help those young people to see that we have them in Sierra Leone. If we could create that platform, because again, some of these young people are doing great things, but who knows about them? Nobody knows. You are an entrepreneur, you've been doing a business, you started small, it is growing, you're at a point where now you can at least say, okay, I'm proud of what I am doing. But who knows what you're doing? That is the platform that Under 30 CEOs strives towards creating. Yeah.
Alright, you're still watching the Star Good Morning Show here on Star Television Network on channel 21. We go for our second item this morning. As a way to boosting the fight against COVID-19, Office Ladies, a non-for-profit organization, has donated food and non-food items worth millions of leones to the Joint Medical Unit at 34 Military Hospital in Wilberforce. Let's go for the report.
Office Ladies is a makeup of young ladies whose vision, according to the president, Magdalene Mara, is to impact as many lives as possible. This donation of food and non-food items to the 34 Military Hospital is aimed at complementing the effort of the government to eradicate the COVID-19. Haja Sise is the public relations officer.
On behalf of the Office Ladies organization, we thought and fit say this bad sickness, what they call corona, we don't take away many lives all around the world. We thought and fit so for arise like young girls here, for help the government fight this corona. And we come with this small donation for can offer to the 34 hospital because they do a great job. Even for the Wilberforce community as a whole and the entire hospital as a whole. And then save many lives and many people will be don't contacted with this disease. Don't restore back from the sickness. So we tell them plenty thank you for that. We will not get nothing for give them. First, we can do this little donation. And me advice back what they give. So we always enough now soon. As we done with we proactive nurses and doctors them around. This is a short message from me when I the PRO Aja. do ya as we master sabi people dey say let we dey wash we hand, let we dey avoid boku crowd. And to all me company woman dey inside salon, do ya una allow dey take wetin doctor tell we and the necessary precaution.
Lieutenant IG Maga is in charge of COVID at the 34 Military Hospital. He applauded office ladies for such goodwill gesture. He promised to ensure that these items will be used for its intended purpose.
On behalf of the commanding officer and the entire membership and staff and nurses, doctors, 34 Military Hospital, we appreciate this donation and a timely one, and we will use her for the intended purpose. Office ladies organization will appreciate una, we tell una boku thank you. We recognize una because una come and give this small. Una they see a small but not a small thing. That thing they are, we need them now. We really need them. Other organizations, the council, they give sanitary pads. We get pregnant women that we admit right now that they are about to deliver. Some they take them from their homes there. Quarantine homes, they don't get nothing, they come. Now that small thing they also can give them. They get water, some they get toothpaste. We appreciate una. And one now una go back again and tell the organization, say, una meet we and una meet the entire staff. Una see the staff there where they be in, they work very well, and we will make sure say we fight COVID out of Sierra Leone.
Magdalene Mara, the president, ended up calling on other organizations to emulate what they have done, as she said the hospital is in need of any help that they could get. For Star TV News, Alfie Barry reporting.
Many thanks to my producer Alfie Barry for that comprehensive report. You're still watching the Star Good Morning Show here on Star Television Network on Channel 21. As live in the studio, Ansumana and James Fortune, we are talking about young youth issues. And let me go over to you, Ansumana. Ansumana, I want to take a little bit off guard and talk about youth in our country. We've seen over the past months a lot of violence erupted right across the country.
Yeah.
I know you've done a lot of studies as to why these cases being increased in our country. From a parent point of view, what has been your study? Why do we have youth being involved in violence? This is not an early problem. It has been in existence for let's say decades ago.
Sure.
Why do we have youth being involved in violence in our country?
And if you check around the 1992, we had the rebel war, you understand, in our country, which was very much unfortunate. And during the fight against COVID-19, it has taken another turn, and a negative one, seeing young people now engaging in violence, the attempted prison break, and the issue at Tumbo, Bumsal, and so on and so forth. All of these, they are very much unfortunate for our country and towards our national cohesion and development. Yes, and young people, they are mainly involved in violence acts, mainly because there has been a lot of unemployment rates. You understand? It is being said.
Could that be seen as a defense?
And yeah, that will be one of the defenses. You understand? Because unemployment rate. Because if you are mainly engaged in doing something, I'm telling you, nobody cares about politics. Nobody cares about anything else. You understand? When I'm being engaged, I have somewhere that I'm working on, somewhere that I'm doing my business, automatically my focus will be there. But we have young people being used mainly by stakeholders. You understand? And because they need their basic needs as young people, and also the issue of disgruntledness. Young people are mainly disgruntled in this country. You understand? They need an answer towards so many unanswered questions. One of them, when most people are being born in this country, they are looking for answers, and that answers that they are looking for is their right path, their right destination. You understand? So young people in this country, they lack the destination. For instance, when you have been born, you know that, okay, I have to engage in this, I have to engage in this, and within this age, from age 18 to age 30, I should have achieved that. And in this country, you see young people, more than 30, 40, you understand? It's very much disheartening that they don't know what their fortune or future holds for them. You understand? And that's very much unfortunate. And when you cross-check young people, most of them, they lack trust in this country. If you have engagement in most of them, be it in community centers, attire base, and ghettos, they will tell you that I want to go overseas. There lies my destiny. So having a population and of young people, most of them, their concentration and attention lies in overseas, and they believe that their destiny is mainly and can be seen when they are in overseas and other countries. Very much disheartening. It reached a peak. The issue of Temple Run became a big problem in our country till date, because most people, young people, they lack trust in this country. Like we've been saying, spaces need to be created for young people, a huge space, and bulk of the country's economy must be spent in investing on young people, empowering them, creating jobs for them. The government has a role to play for them to bring in companies that will employ young people. If you check the Abacha Street, most of the hard labors being done by young people. You understand? Young people are mainly their human rights are mainly being violated by people having those bigger shops, and that's also very, very much this happening. Even in the schools, the educational sector, you understand? You see young people, they themselves, they have a blame, because most of them going to school, they are not mainly engaging in their studies. They are not focusing on their studies.
Later, talking about job opportunity, just a few weeks ago, I spoke with a youth activist, Abu Paka. He said to me that in this particular time, he said, every young person becomes loyal to whoever give him his daily bread.
You cannot.
So which means he was saying that politicians in our country, that was his postulation, that politicians do fan the flame of violence by pushing youth to the forefront.
And you cannot bite the fingers that feeds you. That's very, very much clear. You understand? So most of the young people.
So come back to this of being self-reliant.
Sure, their loyalty mainly lies in those that are giving them some daily bread. You understand? And that's very, very much unfortunate for our country. And saying that politicians fans violence in the country is a two-way thing. Politicians, they are playing their own negative part. Also, the young people accepting those politicians, you understand, using them, abusing them, it's another cause for concern. Let me tell you, the issue of you knowing your destination, knowing your path, that's what is lacking in our country. You identify what you got within yourself, it's lacking in our country, you understand? So, if that is lacking your destination, where you are driving at, automatically someone else, you understand, some influential person will take that advantage in order to become the driver for your own life. And if you allow another person to become a driver for your life, that person will misuse you, abuse you, and also turn you around whatever way he or she needs you to be. That's the problem.
Let me just
young
take
people
it
are
up that
facing.
and let's talk about your recent activities at PAN.
Okay, now we are now launching the Patriots, and for which it's an initiative by the Patriotic Advocacy Network, and wherein we want to sensitize young people the essence of patriotism, which is key, unity, and also create a space for young people to exhibit their talents. You understand? The Patriot is a youth-led and production of short movies and spoken words, poetry, article writing, so on and so forth, wherein we are going to reject the ills of tribalism and also join the fight against COVID-19 with the slogan "United we stand, beat COVID." All this, it is being geared towards promoting the talents of young people, promoting national development, and see how best we can make patriotism as a way of life. In PAN, we strongly believe that patriotism should not and must not be a duty. It must be a way of life, because when it becomes a duty, automatically your contract ends. But when it becomes a way of life, it will be part and parcel of you. So that's why we've initiated the Patriot, because we want each and every young person in Sierra Leone to be a patriot. You must be the patriot. I must be the patriot. Fortune here must be the patriot.
All of us must be
all
the
of us must be a patriot. You looking at me, you must be the patriot. And we all must say the patriot. What is the patriot? You have it in you. You have something very unique in you. You understand? Are you selling butterscotch? Are you selling bread? Are you selling anything else? You are the patriot. Use it wisely to promote patriotism, to promote unity, peace, and love. Are you doing some barbing? You understand? Use it wisely to promote the patriot. So very soon, by next week, we shall be producing short movies, spoken words, motivational statement for the Sierra Leonean public, you understand, in order to educate them, sensitize them, and tell them that they have it in them. They must use it wisely to develop this wonderful
We'll
nation.
create more time to talk about that. Let me come over to Fortune as we have less than 10 minutes in the studios. Fortune, everyone now want to support the fight against the COVID-19. And we've seen you've developed a health proposal. What is the detail about this proposal and what do you aim to achieve at the end of it all?
Yes, at the end of the day, we want to target every district in Sierra Leone, all the region, and to actually get to the chiefdoms as well. That is why presently we are working with, and we want to work with government. We hope that we've had our first engagement with them, and it was a fruitful one, and we hope that we are able to get more. And we want to as well work with private institutions to see how best we can be able to implement this particular project. Just as I said earlier, it's Corona now, and trust me, we cannot do anything outside, because even if the restrictive measures does not permit you, so it is but important for us all to come together as a nation and fight and eradicate the disease from our nation. Now, the proposal actually entails us bringing on board young people. One of the reasons responsible for violence, activities, and all of those things is because youth have nothing doing. Imagine if I am a fisherman now, and the government say, you know what, because during this time you have to cut down on the number of people that goes to fish. That means automatically I have nothing else doing. Or imagine if I am a club owner, and people have to come for me to make money at night. Then nobody is coming now. Then that creates a problem. Now, but through this project, we can be able to bring young people on board when they are engaged themselves in sensitizing their community, in galvanizing people, in putting together stuff. Trust me, that in itself will prevent them from entering into violence activities. So the project in itself is quite a big one, because we want to as well work with the Interreligious Council to see how best we implement the health measures, whether if church reopens today or tomorrow, whether there is corona around or not. I think health is wealth, and the preventive measures like washing your hands, it's just something important. We do not need to wait until there is Ebola or there is coronavirus for us to observe that. And yes, those are the stuffs. And definitely after Corona, we resume our normal kinds of activities, the entrepreneurship summits and all. But while we are still on this Corona matter, we hope to support governments and bring on board our other youths as well to see what we can do to contribute towards nation's development. Because contributing to the fight of coronavirus presently, it's as though you're contributing towards nation's development.
So from we are wrapping up now in less than 30 seconds. What could be a message from our 30 CEOs?
Well, on the 30 CEOs, we want to call on young people out there, first off, those that are innovators. You can reach us, let us come together. Let's work on the ideas together. We have innovators presently that we are working with. We could also work with you. And to the government and partners out there, we are young people and we want to work. We do not want to be handed a fish every day. We want to be empowered so that we are able to find our own fish ourselves. And that is the key thing that we need in Sierra Leone. If we're able to empower the young people, then they can be able to stand for themselves. Those young people in turn will empower other young people, and that they will go very, very far. We work with entrepreneurs, and we hope that you can partner with us, you can support the drive so that we can be able to empower more young people out there to become self-sufficient and independent on their own.
Thank you. Strong words there from James Fortune from the Under 30 CEO. And Sumana Peter, I know you are communicating, but 30 seconds will do for you for your closing statements.
Thank you. And it is being said, your house cannot be on fire and you keep chasing rats. Sierra Leone is not only on fire, Sierra Leone is on an inferno. So we must wise up, we must wake up, and we must watch out for this initiative by the Patriotic Advocacy Network titled The Patriot. You are the Patriot. What is the Patriot? What you got in yourself, you must produce it out for national development. So we are encouraging each and every Sierra Leonean to support us wisely. You can call or WhatsApp us on 077-459-773 or check us at our office space at 79 Pademba Road. And I want to extend our profound thanks to Star TV for always supporting our initiative. And I want to also extend our thanks to each and every Sierra Leoneans. We need each and every Sierra Leoneans on board. Together we can transform Sierra Leone into an earthly paradise.
Thank you so much, gentlemen. These are the content of the Good Morning Show here on Star Television Network on channel 21. Just a quick reminder of our inspirational quote for today. It's from Jane Addams, and it says, "Unless our conceptions of patriotism is progressive, it cannot hope to embody the real affection and the real interest of the nation." Until then, I've been your presenter, Hassan Prama. Please stay blessed and be aware that COVID-19 is real. Tata and God bless you.
Hello, you are with Star Television. Welcome to the National News Bulletin. I am Leonora Jawara, and these are the top stories. President Julius Maada Bio has commenced a national tree planting exercise and launched the National Tree Planting Project to minimize impacts of climate change and fulfill commitments in the country's medium-term National Development Plan.
Therefore, I reiterate my campaign pledge that my administration will focus on the protection of the environment and the prevention of natural disasters in the country.
The Ministry of Works and Infrastructure, together with officials from the Sierra Leone Road Safety Authority and the Chinese government, has conducted an inspection tour of the Wellington-Maisheka Highway project along the Maisheka Highway.
Of course, our SLRA engineers have made it very clear that the quality is good. They have raised some constraints for which they want government to address as quickly as possible.
The National COVID-19 Emergency Response Center, with support from the United Nations Development Program, has over the weekend distributed facial masks to various communities in the country as a way to help in the fight against the coronavirus pandemic.
It's not certain choking areas, we dey stop there and talk to people there, we dey ask if they get the Veronica bucket, they put on the face masks, and if they show social distances.
The Kutan World Global Foundation has donated food items and facial masks to the Kutan community as part of their support in the fight against the COVID-19.
Now we were born na Kuto Road, whether we there again, whether we not there again, but na born of the soil. Some of we born here, we not many here. Some of we many here say we end up for go other side and back.
And in sports, the acting chairman of the Southern Region Football Association, Kofi Dinakor, has said that the region is in preparation to construct a football academy from the development fund received by the Sierra Leone Football Association. All these making the headlines. And now the details, but first, let's have a look at updates from the National Emergency Operations Center on the status of the COVID-19 in the country.
Status update for 8th June 2020. Cumulative confirmed positive cases, 1,001. Total number of deaths, 49. Active new cases, 32. Active cases at isolation centers, 341. Cumulative recoveries, 611. Number currently in quarantine, 1,741. Number discharged from quarantine, 5,231.
Total of 133 samples. Of the 133 samples that were analyzed, we had 32 positives, 101 negatives. As of date, we have analyzed a cumulative total test of 7,609.
Number of persons in quarantine is 1,741. Out of this, under government quarantine, we have 915. Organizational quarantine, we have 16 still, the 13 Chinese and the 1 Russian and the 1 Israeli. Then home quarantine, we have 810, which gives that total. For government quarantine, 23 completed 14 days in quarantine, and as soon as their test results are out, they are negative, we'll dissolve the quarantine homes or the quarantine centers. Then organizational quarantine, we have about 72 hours for them to complete their 14 days in quarantine, and they will do their test. And for home quarantine, 35 have completed 14 days quarantine.
His Excellency the President, Julius Maada Bio, has commenced a national tree planting exercise and launched the National Tree Planting Project to minimize impact of climate change and fulfill commitment in the country's mid-term national development plan. Now, the project is aimed at planting 5 million trees in approximately 14,706 hectares of degraded lands and coastal areas across the country. George Elliott Sam has more and in our reports.
In a statement, President Julius Maada Bio stated that the project is expected to last for 4 years and the planting of trees will be done in 5 phases. Phase 1, which will commence this year, will end in June 2021 with 1.2 million trees planted. Phase 2 to 5 will start in May 2021 and end in June 2024, and 3.8 million trees will be planted. The eco-benefit from health, agriculture, employment, water conservation to economic development are too much numerous to name in this brief statement, he said. President Julius Maada Bio disclosed that the National Reforestation and Afforestation Project, which was included in the 2020 budget, will benefit the whole country, adding that it will be pursued along with government commitment to creating jobs in rural communities.
Therefore, I reiterate my campaign pledge that my administration will focus on the protection of the environment and the prevention of natural disasters in the country. Of course, we have taken proactive measures towards effective environmental governance, ecosystem conservation, the management of forest resources, and environmental education. We have established a standalone Ministry of the Environment, and we are passing progressive legislations and policies to mitigate and manage environmental risks.
Chief Minister Professor David Francis, who chaired the event, described it as symbolic start of the national tree planting exercise and also welcomed guests as they commemorate the United Nations World Environment Day to encourage global awareness and global action for the protection of the environment.
As we commemorate the UN World Environment Day, His Excellency the President has answered the UN global call for action to protect our environment. And that is why the new direction government of President Julius Maada Bio is launching the National Reforestation and Afforestation Project to mark the start of the national tree planting exercise by the new Ministry of the Environment, that we plant 5 million trees across Sierra Leone within 4 years. Ladies and gentlemen, that is why the cabinet of the new direction government of President Julius Maada Bio recently approved the National Reforestation and Timber Governance Agency and Policy to regulate and govern the sustainable management of our timber resources.
Executive Chairman for the Environmental Protection Agency, Dr. Bondi Givao, said that the ongoing climate-related impact were reminders of the need to take responsibility to prevent their forest and wildlife habit.
I also want to thank the Minister of the Environment, our development partners and other key stakeholders for their efforts in sensitizing the public on the importance of planting and saving trees, protecting and rehabilitating our forests and the water catchments to ensure sustainable water supply, particularly for the Freetown community. This tree planting initiative conforms with Pillar 7 of government's medium-term National Development Plan for 2019 to 2023 on addressing vulnerabilities and building national environmental resilience.
For Star News in Freetown, George Elliott Sam reporting.
The Ministry of Works and Infrastructure, together with officials from the Sierra Leone Road Safety Authority and the Chinese government, has conducted an inspection tour of the Wellington-Maisheka Highway project along the Maisheka Highway. Moses Ojo Kamara takes up the story.
According to the Minister of Works, Peter Conte, the inspection of the Wellington-Maisheka Highway project is mainly to assess and monitor progress of the construction of the road, to ensure that as a government, they account for quality, transparency, and the time frame of the construction. He highlighted that despite the numerous challenges faced by their government in road construction, in terms of the contract agreement that has to do with market space and parking lots, they remain committed in delivering on their promises. He outlined that they are not constructing political roads as the past administration did. Therefore, they are firm to complete any project they embark on.
Of course, our SLRA engineers have made it very clear that the quality is good. They have raised some constraints for which they want government to address as quickly as possible. And some of them have to do with payments for compensation, relocation of utilities, and of course, issues that have to do with overloading and of course the toll gates thing. Of course, as a government, we are going to look into their concerns and address them accordingly as quickly as possible. Our government wants this road to be completed by December, even before Christmas. It is what the government wants to see.
Nick, a contractor, expressed the challenges they face as contractors in the construction of the Wellington-Maisheka Highway.
Thank you, the Ministry of Works and our clients, Accelerate, and even the people along the line. We work together today, we can approach this achievement, but still we are facing so many challenges. And the first one is the COVID-19, and the second one is the collection drop down. The third one is heavy-duty truck, overloaded issues, and so on, so many issues. But we are confident, and we believe that with the support from the government, from the support of the Ministry of Works, our client Accelerate, and even the people along the line, we can cross all these challenges.
The Deputy Director General of the Sierra Leone Roads Authority rated the construction 65% over 100 based on assessments on their inspection of the quality of the road, comparing it with the budget.
Make good use of that money, make sure that we utilize and then utilize the money to make savings. You see, not neglecting quality. So from here, as you can see, we have the 8-meter median which we can, as road reserve, which can be utilized later when the need arises.
Some of the sites visited during the inspection were the Orugu River Bridge, Joe, Tombo Park, Waterloo, 3 Mile, Newton, Songo, Makolo, Okra Hill, and the Mashaka Township. The Wellington-Mashaka Highway project was launched in April 2016 by former President Ernest Bai Koroma and had started operation since 2016. The Minister of Works, Peter Conte, assured residents of Koya Chiefdom in Mashaka Town that if all goes well, by December this year, the construction of the 4-year-long project and counting will come to a conclusion soon. Reporting for Star News, I am Moses Ojukamara.
The National COVID-19 Emergency Response Center, with support from the United Nations Development Program, has over the weekend distributed facial masks to various communities in the country as a way to help in the fight against the coronavirus pandemic. Admaya Samai has more.
The National COVID-19 Emergency Response Center, with support from the United Nations Development Program, has over the weekend distributed face masks to different communities in the country. Social mobilizers from various walks of life were part of the distribution and advised community people to always make sure they put on the face masks even in public places and encourage them to always wash their hands, which that will help in the fight against COVID-19 in the country.
Meet na certain choking areas, we dey stop there and talk to people there, we dey ask if they get the Veronica bucket, they put on the face masks. And if they show social distances, they wash their hands. If they keep the rules and regulations, waiting government don't see.
I make they can encourage you now. They wanna use the face mask. You know, so na able buy them, but they beg you now. They wanna use them. They wanna encourage you now. Wanna come to the way and market here, so make them self use them. So that then we all go put them together and face this year. So we go move forward.
Where they talk to each other, you know how they seek they can. If me much no luck, where they talk to that pit where they come out, you know this here. We call it droplet. Now inside that pit there, now they that virus they come out. Now they go come to you, put on your nose or your mouth.
Market women in different communities express appreciation and encourage others to always put on face masks as they want the coronavirus to be over for business to be back to normal.
We know about the old market, we tell people thank you because we maintain with the corona sick. We get the bucket there, distance, so that's why they will tell God thank you over the because they maintain to the law and they pray for let the corona will go out. Now we will get with health in the country. I don't advise them say corona here because we don't look at over inside the people that don't die when they come and the people in the camera when they go, so we say we hesitate. This make we prevent we don't market. For long we get this sick here so they don't affect we too much and we are area. Because this sick here so in reality, so we have to prevent we say. These are the talk to the everyday.
For Star TV News in Freetown, I am Admaya Samai reporting.
You're still watching the news bulletin here on Star TV. Now, the Kutan Road Global Foundation has donated food items and facial masks to the Kutan community as part of their own support in the fight against the COVID-19. Let's have more in this report.
Well, this organization, now Kutogon organization, as I said, this now we were born na Kutogon, whether we there again, whether we not there again, but now born of the soil. Some of we born here, we not many here. Some of we many here say we end up for go other side and back. But we decide for come back now community, for give back to the community. The organization is formed as a charity organization for help the community, especially for education. Bikini where they go school, they try, but their parents are not going to push them because of financial constraint. But in the midst of Corona, when a pandemic na the one world, we all know what people need. People need water, they need soap, they need hand sanitizer. But one particular thing where people also need na food stuff. And we all see what they happen at the world. All country, people come on at a different country, they don't go make money on the other side. They don't come back home for can't help their country, their community them. So as a community, we don't over 200 years with an history, very rich history when I put a road. We decide what we don't form this organization, say, then we can give back to the community and help them with some food stuff them.
Speaking to this medium was Abdoulaye Jallow, also known as Chief Kublo Kublo, chairman of the Kuton Road Global Foundation, explaining the brought-up and need of their foundation. Since the inception of the activation of the public health emergency, there has been a drop in the economy which has left a lot of homes without food and low income earning. Against this backdrop, their foundation has embarked on a donation of food items, some toiletries and face masks to the Kuton Road community in order to help respond to the threat posed by the coronavirus outbreak and strengthen their system for public health preparedness. The Kuton Road Global Foundation was founded by descendants of the Kuton Road community in order to give back to their community through various means. As a way to motivate the Kuton Road Global Foundation, one of the beneficiaries expressed their gratitude on behalf of the community that this is a small but one that will left a print in the heart of all that will benefit from such a donation. For most of them, it was the first time in their lives to receive such a good gesture from descendants of their community.
If I say, I know feel fine, God said now go glad me. So me I'm glad 100%. I don't know side of Kula, but God can go inside them, so they can see through. Because the time will be inside, so not to normal time. It's hard for everybody, the one who comes to say. So if somebody picks small priority, get the candy, tell them thank you, tell God thank you. Let God ask more for them. You understand?
Kuton Road community is one of the largest community in the western area urban of Sierra Leone, in which its estimated population is of over 10,000. In further development, as to reach the wider range of the community, the Kuton Road Global Foundation assures the non-beneficiaries that more donations are on the pipeline and also a memorable event that will bring the community inmates together. For Star TV News, Ezekiel Kagbo report.
To round up a news bulletin, let's turn our attention to sport. As the acting chairman of the Southern Region Football Association, Kofi Dinako, has said that the region is in preparation to construct a football academy from the development funds received by the Sierra Leone Football Association. Hilton John, a sports correspondent, has more for you.
Thanks to Leonard Java. Welcome for today's sporting news. The acting chairman of the Southern Region Football Association, Kofi Dinyako, has said that the development fund received by the Football Association will be used by the Southern Region to construct a football academy. Recreational facilities have been one of the challenges for the district. Here is the report.
The acting chairman of the Southern Region Football Association, Kofi Dinyako, has said that the region will use the funds provided by the Sierra Leone Football Association of $10,000 as part of their development projects. He maintained that one of the focus of the region is to construct a football academy that will be used for second division club or other sporting activities in the Southern Region. He said with more support from the government of Sierra Leone, corporate institutions, they will achieve their goal as a region.
Plan is to get replica academy in the Southern Region.
Do you think that this fund is enough?
It's not enough, but at least we want to secure the land. Then whenever we are able to access another fund, we develop it.
So as a region, you expecting this development fund from the Football Association?
I was, of course. I was expecting that, yes. So even though it's not enough, but it's good to start.
Do you have plans to get onto other corporate institutions to help the region to facilitate this project?
Of course. Our intention is to start structures. As long as we've got the land, we can use that to attract more funding so that at least we start the construction of a Southern Region Football Academy sort of.
So talking about these projects, is it a short-term plan or a long-term plan?
It's a long term. For now, we've secured our plan is for 5 years. I'm sure within the next 5 years we have something to contact.
Have you secured the land now?
Almost through. We're almost through with that. In the next 2 weeks, I'm sure we shall own property about 3 acres flat.
Do you think that you can get support from the government?
We shall knock at all doors. We shall knock at every door available.
So let's talk about the corona in the southern region within the sporting sector. What has been some of the problems you have faced?
Of course, the problem it's universal. Players aren't playing football. Nothing is happening in the area of football except to sensitize, just for the players to know exactly so that they stay off from trouble, or they stay off from whatever activity that will bring infection.
So this is the only contribution from the region?
Yes, for the region, yes. But we are expecting another tranche for the district. And the district again intends to approach the Go City Council so that we can take over the coronation ground.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Kofi Dinyako maintained that it has been so difficult in the southern region in terms of recreational facility. A call on all stakeholders within the southern region to come together and embark on these projects. This will be the first time in history for southern region to get a football academy. For Star TV Sports in Freetown, I am Milton John reporting.
A good initiative from the Southern Region Football Association, if all goes on well, to construct a football academy. We can only boast of 2 academies in Sierra Leone in the Western area, the Cape Bellamy Foundation Academy and the Football Association Secretariat. Let's turn our attention to the international scene as the German Bundesliga resumed over the weekend. We saw Bayern Munich register a 4-2 victory against their arch-rival Bayer Leverkusen. It was indeed an interesting drama for either side, despite an empty stadium because of the pandemic. Here's a highlight of the match.
And we're going to see the first yellow card. There's a chance here though for Bayer Leverkusen. Being raised, we think. Tete Bosch is having a look. Clearly there, Glenn, that he is onside. And Alario, and the applause you can see there is because the onside. And then a very composed finish for his 11th goal of the still concerning matches, but they're behind here, and Alario didn't now take that. Well, Neuer and the referee. It's going to be checked, isn't it, by VAR. Bailey playing it forward to Diaby, and they crossed into...
Mit der 38 Karim Bellarabi.
unstoppable Bayern Munich continue with a winning mentality 4-2 against Bayer Leverkusen, and this week we'll be seeing the commencement of the English Premier League. Arsenal could be coming up against Man City. That's all for sports for today's news.
Well, that's all in a Star News Bulletin file. Thank you so very much for watching. I am Leonora Jawara. Please stay with us if you can, and make sure you stay safe. Adhere to all precautionary measures, as we all know, COVID-19 is real.
The death is reported of Mr. James Paul Sr., formerly of PC and Son, and of number 13 Regent Street, which sad event took place on Saturday the 6th of June 2020, age 71 years. Funeral arrangements will be announced later. Sympathizers may call on the following numbers: 077-439-418 or 030-132-839 and 076-626-750. May your soul continue to rest in peace.
The Kamara family regrets to announce the death of Mr. John Lamin Kamara. The sad event took place on the 5th of June 2020. He was 89 years old. Funeral arrangements will be announced later. Meanwhile, sympathizers should call on the following mobile numbers: 078-244-739 or 030-242-094 or visit number 25 William Street, Grassfield, Freetown. May his soul rest in perfect peace.
The children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren, family and friends commemorate the 20th anniversary of Mrs. Emma Millicent Brie, who joined the Saints Above on the 8th June 2000. She worked at Elder Tempster Lines Limited and Sierra Leone Shipping Agency. She was class leader at Samira West African Methodist Church and served the Lord through other offices she held in the church and the connection. 20 years have gone and she's still fresh in our mind. She is celebrated by our children, Mrs. Dorothy Hilton Lee in London, Right Reverend Arnold C. Temple, Mr. Victor Abayomi Temple in the USA, Mr. Ronald Olufemi Temple in the USA, Mrs. Rachel Swallow in the UK, and Mrs. Sylvia Fraser in the USA. Several grandchildren and great-grandchildren, cousins, nephews, and nieces include Mrs. Theresa Omojowo Wilson, the Punshon family. Other relatives and friends include the General Superintendent, minister, and members of Samira West African Methodist Church. When the day of toil is done, when the race of life is run, Father, grant thy word won, rest forevermore. Rest in the peace of Christ, mommy. Death has no more dominion over you.
you.